The ongoing offensive by ISIS and Sunni rebels in Iraq. In the north of the country, Kurdish Peshmerga fighters have retaken a number of towns previously occupied by ISIS. Today, the president of Iraqi Kurdistan, Mahmoud Barzani, visited strategically important town of Kirkuk in an attempt to bolster Kurdistan's claim to the town and its oil industry. It's these men that many of Kirkuk's residents believe will save their city from a Sunni militant offensive that has already captured large swathes of Iraqi territory. Only they aren't Iraqi soldiers, but fighters from the Kurdish autonomous region in northern Iraq. Known as Peshmerga, they filled in the gap after regular troops abandoned their posts at the start of the jihadist offensive against Iraq's Shiite government.
The Iraqi army can't protect us. They left their weapons and ran away. If they were honourable and defended us, this wouldn't have happened to our country.
Kirkuk is ethnically mixed and oil-rich. The city's future has been disputed for years by its residents. Kurd, Arab and Turkmen residents have been divided over whether they should be administered by Baghdad or as part of the 3 autonomous Kurdish provinces.
Well, Kirkuk will fall into Kurdistan region because that's what the people want. And there will be a referendum, and I'm sure people will vote for that.
Before the Sunni advance, Kirkuk's security was divided between the Iraqi army, Peshmerga fighters and Kurdish international security forces. In the absence of the army, the Kurdish forces have taken control of patrolling outside the city and have significantly boosted their presence inside it. Kurdish residents here say they feel safer now.
The
presence of Peshmerga in Kirkuk and the south is a very good thing for the population here. We're very happy they're here because they will protect us from the Islamists.
Part of Kirkuk's allure lies in the vast oil reserves in the province. Until now, the reserves have been shared between Baghdad and the Kurdish region. But the massive presence of Peshmergas here may challenge that status quo.
Well, for more on that story, Dr Jawad Mella, who is president of the Kurdistan National Congress, joins us now live in the studio. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. First of all, just give me your sense of what is going on in Iraq. Is this basically a Sunni uprising against the government, and the Kurds are taking advantage of it to further consolidate their position?
Actually, the fighting between Sunni and Shia, it is a very long story. It goes for more than 1,400 years ago. The Iraqis, they killed Hussein, grandson of Muhammad, in very savage way. They find his body in Damascus later on and his head in Cairo. The killing between Sunni and Shia, it is very long way, very long story. And we should, as a Kurd, I am asking, I am very, very upset from the visiting of William Hague recently today to the Prime Minister of Iraq, and he asked the Prime Minister of Iraq to be united, the Sunni and Shia and Kurds. The old policy of Britain of last century should be now finished because caused our people more than 500,000 lives last century from this
policy. So the question
policy.
is, how will the Kurds react to that visit and to the calls for national unity?
The Kurds should have their own state.
So you're calling for independence?
Yes, 100% should the Kurds have, because if we have autonomies or federalism, when the Maliki or the Iraqi regime weak, they accept it. When they become strong, they don't accept it. And the story will go for
yes, but is your view accepted by majority of the people in Kurdistan?
Yes, sure. The majority of people of Kurdistan, they had a referendum in 2005, and 98% of the people asking for independence to separate from Iraq.
How easy will it be for the Kurds to be able to gain independence at such a volatile time like this? There is an opening, But is that going to make it easy for them?
Very easy. It is much easier than the autonomy and federalism, because autonomy and federalism, we can't protect ourselves. But when we have a state, we have aeroplanes, missiles, we have army, proper army.
Yeah, but the point, of course, is that it's not that easy, is it? Because the difficulty is that if you go for independence, it's not just going to be an Iraqi problem. It could extend into other countries like Turkey, which have a large Kurdish population.
They can't, not Turkey, not Iran, not Syria, they can move one step against Iraqi Kurdistan, because they have enough problem there. If they move, there are 50 million people in their countries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. The problem is that if you go for independence, the levels of agitation in places like Turkey will go up.
They can't do
with
anything.
The Kurdish population there.
They can't do anything, believe me. They can't. Turkey, not Turkey of 50 years ago. What? Turkey, it is not as it is itself. Turkey now, between the generals, military generals, and Erdogan, the Islamist, they have very big division between themselves. They can't do anything outside Turkey.
Briefly, Dr. Mella, can the Kurds economically walk away and become independent? Because at the end of the day, they still receive quite a large amount of percentage from the Iraq economy.
The economy of Iraq come out from Kurdistan. The petrol of Iraq come out from Kurdistan. Kirkuk, the richest city in the world. Last year, I've been in Kirkuk. I visited Kurdistan. I visited I'm very happy to see Mr. Masoud Barzani, president of Kurdistan, visited Kirkuk today. I visited Kirkuk a couple of years ago, and I saw the people living in very miserable situation, and they live on a sea of petrol. Very rich country, very rich city, but the people very poor. This is the policy of the regime of Iraq. I am asking the situation of the Kurds. It is actually started from the last century.
You have to make this very brief because we're out of time, basically.
Yeah, after the first war,
I'm afraid it's much too long. I appreciate your time. I hate to interrupt you, but we've got to go. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Okay.
Thank you.